And one of the news items that continues to percolate and eventually may simmer and at some point may boil and still could full out explode is the relationship between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we were led to believe that there would be a middle ground, there would be a resolution, there would be a new contract, a contract pursuant to which the Steelers would reduce the Ben Roethlisberger cap number from $41.25 million all the way down to $22.25 million. That is a difference of $19 million. And no, I didn't do the math just then. If I had, I would have gotten it wrong. So, how do you save money under the cap and keep Ben Roethlisberger? It's a simple proposition. You take the $19 million he's due to make this year, you turn it into a signing bonus, you extend the contract by a few years with some dummy years on the back end, 22, 23, 24, and you spread out that $19 million payment. We've done the numbers before. It wouldn't take much to put his cap number in the range of, say, $26 million. Now, the extra $15 million would hit the cap in the future. More specifically, would hit the cap next year. But that's a way to do it. You can rob Peter to pay Paul under the salary cap if you want to keep Ben Roethlisberger. And it felt like that's the direction it was going. Art Rooney, the owner of the team, made it clear they wanted him back for another year. And Ben said, hey, I want to come back. And he also said, I don't care how much money I make. Well, now here we are. And I got to give credit to Ed Bouchette of The Athletic. He made the point a couple of weeks ago that even though both sides seem to be willing to work this out, there's no guarantee they're going to work it out. And until they work it out, wait for it, it's not worked out. So Kevin Colbert, the Steelers GM, says that there isn't anything that is worked out at this point, and he didn't close the door on the possibility that Ben Roethlisberger won't be back. And that would happen if the Steelers just decide to take the $19 million cap hit that they're going to take this year anyway. Whether he's on the team or not, they're taking a $19 million cap charge for past money, past contracts, past restructurings. The question is, how much more do they want to commit to Roethlisberger from a cash or cap standpoint? And they could decide that whatever number they're willing to do is less than what Roethlisberger is willing to take. He can say, I don't care how much money I make. You can say it. If they offer you $1 million, the league minimum, and he says, nah, I care a little bit more than that. I don't care, but I care a little bit more than $1 million. That's how it all falls apart. And it could be the Steelers are deciding this, that now's the time to rip the Band-Aid off, that now's the time to move on. You know, I haven't been a fan of this idea that we're going to ride one more year with Ben Roethlisberger. I understand the attraction. That's what they did with Jerome Bettis in 2005. The year after the Steelers got close to the Super Bowl, 15-1, Ben Roethlisberger's rookie season, thrust into action after Tommy Maddox was injured. I can still remember seeing the quotes from Alan Faneca, new Hall of Famer, who wasn't sold on the idea of having a rookie from the Miami of Ohio come in and become the starting quarterback. Well, they did well enough to get Bettis to believe next year could end with a Super Bowl trophy. The problem is, right now, do you really think, Steelers fans out there, do you really think there's a good chance your team's going to win the Super Bowl next year? With what the salary cap is going to do to the team, with the fact that key free agents won't be back like Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner, and that other guys like Bud Dupree, he's coming off of a torn ACL. Are they going to keep him around? They're going to have to cut some guys. It's going to be a very different team. And I know that Mike Tomlin is very good about taking the guys he has and making them into something better than what they are individually. But even then, you compete with the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Browns. I'm not so sure about that. And it could be that the Steelers just decide now's the time to move on. Now's the time to turn the page. Now's the time to draft a new quarterback. Or let's see what Mason Rudolph can do. You know, not many people were paying attention to the Week 17 game between the Browns and the Steelers because the Steelers weren't really trying. But Rudolph wasn't bad in that game. He was bad in 2019, but he wasn't bad in that game. And that was a game the Browns were trying to win to punch their playoff ticket so they could go to Pittsburgh and punch the Steelers in the mouth the following week. Either way, the road is going to come to an end for Roethlisberger. And I would prefer, if I was a Steelers fan, I'll try to put myself in the shoes of a Steelers fan, I'd prefer let's just be done with it now. Because there's a good chance that when you get to the end of 2021, you're going to regret that you continued the relationship. I don't like one more year, not in football. I don't want it. I don't like it. It just needs to end. And you can maybe think it's your final year. It's better to not enter into it that way. And I think that's what the Steelers may be finally realizing. And the other side of it, too, is I don't think anybody wants to be the villain in this. If it ends, Roethlisberger wants it to be the Steelers' fault. If it ends, the Steelers want it to be Roethlisberger's fault. Roethlisberger wanted too much money. He said he'd take anything. He didn't take anything that we offered. He didn't want to come back. I just think they both, and particularly the Steelers, would like to find a way to step back from this and move on and understand that 2021 is going to be, we talk about rebuilding, we talk about reloading. I think 2021 for the Steelers, and I think this is the first time I've ever used this in context with a football team, it's more like regrouping because we don't know what they're going to have. Whatever they have, Mike Tomlin's going to find a way to make it in a contender, and then you figure out this year who are the guys that provide the nucleus for 2022. And if you get lucky and you exceed all expectations and you get to the playoffs and win some games and somehow snake a path to the Super Bowl, so be it. It's all gravy. But at some point, the gravy boat that is Ben Roethlisberger's career needs to end, and it could be that now is the time to do it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.